Okay, so I recorded this video, but I apparently forgot to turn the audio on. So I'm going to try to do a voiceover as accurately as I possibly can. So we're starting off the same place we left off, where we have the framework set up, the UI set up, and the buttons connected. So each of the actions and the buttons and the UI image view are currently set up. And what we're going to work on is creating the take a new photo code using the camera. In last video, if you remember, what we did is we used the library to get a photo. In this video, we're going to take one from our camera. Now, I decided to go ahead and do this. However, and test it. I wasn't going to do this since I was using the emulator, but I found an iPhone that I could hook up and test this out. So I'm just right now just commenting out the sections because I'm going to make this code available in the GitHub once we're complete. So all right, so the first thing I need to do is I'll need to import Firebase. Now, I know a lot of you've been having issues with Firebase and the autocorrection, and in most cases what needs to happen is you'll just need to import other pieces. Now, I had the issue when I first set it up where I couldn't do like the author authentication and things like that. So the solution at that time was just to import each component separately. So Firebase, auth, and as you see, these are crossed out because I don't need to do that. So I would usually just add each one. So if you're having some issues with the autocomplete coming up for Firebase, I would definitely say try to do this. And I know it worked for someone else. So yeah, I don't need it. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Okay, so now for our take a new photo function, we also need to control if we don't have access to our camera. So if you're just working with your simulator, you don't have an actual hard device, you want to make sure that you account for not having a camera on that device. And I'm not sure if they still make anything that you would put your app on that wouldn't have a camera on it. I'm sure there is. But we're in this event, we're trying to access something that doesn't exist on the simulator. So we're just going to put in an alert. And I mentioned when I was recording the video is that I wanted to, have, once this is kind of done and over, I want to be able to go back and really just explore components. One of the things is with this Instagram clone-ish, it's not going to be exactly like Instagram, but I wanted to do a lot of features, but it definitely takes a lot of time and thought and consideration. So a lot of these things I skipped through, like this alert view controller. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm creating an alert view controller. This is going to pop up when we don't have a camera, like I said before. You also have to create an action. So the view controller is going to pop up and it's going to have an OK button. Just basically, as you see, the message is going to be can't find a camera on this device. And then you'll have a button that says OK. And we're just setting up the action now. Okay, so when the button is pressed, it's going to, well, the button is created is going to say OK. And it's going to have a default style. And then I don't think I did, nil. So nothing, it's not going to handle anything. It's just going to let you know that you have no camera. And then I'm just going to add the button to the view controller. There we go. And then I'm going to present our alert view controller. So when the camera's not available, alert pops up. It has a button that says OK. And to let you know that there's no camera. So let's go ahead and say that if we don't have a camera, then to pop up our controller, that the function that we just set up to handle the event that there's no camera. So it's saying, is the source type available? And I'm just going to hit camera. Yeah. And if the source type available, which is camera, is not available, then we're going to just call the no camera available function. Now, as far as setting this up, we're going to do, of course, create, well, we already created the picker, but we're going to allow editing to equal false. And one thing I would have to say is, looking back at this, is I would create separate picker for the camera and the photo library, but technically I guess I'm not sure what effect using the same picker for both is going to cause. But so now we're going to create the source type for the picker for the camera. Okay, and we're just going to say it's going to be camera. So this is a lot like the library, how we set that up. So basically defining what the picker is before we present it. So we're going to do a camera capture mode, and it's going to be okay. So now I'm just going to set the presentation style, and here I actually put transition style, and that's why my full screen isn't popping up, and I didn't realize it until much later. And now I got it. And I'm going to set that to full screen. So the camera's going to pop up and it's going to take up the full screen. I'm just presenting the camera. So in the event that the user pushes this button, all of this stuff is going to be set up and it's going to present our camera for us. And I'm just going to run it. Our application pops up. I'm going to slide to the right. Now to take a photo with the camera, I have this take photo button. And as you see, because we're using a simulator, we don't have a camera available on our simulator, so it's going to pop up our warning. Okay, so at this point, I've actually hooked up my iPhone, and we're going to go ahead and try it on the actual iPhone. Okay, so we're in the app, and I'm already signed in. So I'm just going to swipe to the left. I'm going to take a photo. I'm just going to take a photo of my screen, as you guys see here. Okay, and I'm going to use this photo. And it just pops it right into our image view. All right, so sorry for, I didn't expect to go ahead and run this on this phone, but I did, and you see it showed up. And if we just, that's another page we haven't taken care of. Once we hit share, it should populate. So I hope this was helpful. Our next video, we will be saving these images to Firebase Storage, and thanks for watching. See you next time.